Yo, DJ!
Are you done mixing yet?
Your DJ has only just begun.
Yep, good to go.
Hi, this is Lovely. You're listening to your nighttime, right time DJ. DJ Music on CRBJ's Classic R&B Jams Radio. Soulful sounds all around town.
Alrighty there, ladies and gentlemen. It's your nighttime, right time DJ. DJ Music here with another quick rant. So I'll go about 45 minutes, an hour or so. Want to drop a few things on you and let you know what's going on in my world, your world, and some of the things that you might not be even aware of here, folks. Going to drop a quick click at you from some tragic events that are happening in the area that I lived in. So, I'm still reporting it to me, so I'll make sure I report it to you folks. As you saw the title right there, Black Women Protected. It's a matter of who you talk to, because if you run around in these YouTube streets, there, ladies and gentlemen, some folks say, black women are protected. It depends on who you talk to and who you're looking at. In some cases, protected from who? Protected from grown men, or black women protected from their offspring. This is a case where we'll say that a black woman was not protected from her offspring. And this is a lot of, I hate to say this, folks, this is a problem that we have in our community. Some folks might not agree with what I'm about to say, and hey, that's your right, that's your opinion. You are who you are with that. But as these things come across my timeline, and I feel it's something that I need to talk about, or something I feel I need to report on to dispel some of these rumors of rather black women, or should I say that do black men protect black women to the fullest. In some cases you'll have to say no, and in some cases you'll have to say yeah. It depends on the situation that you're around, your environment. I know the black women around my environment, you can't fuck with them like that. You just can't walk up to them and say anything. You can't do anything to them. You can't just bust up in their house. Or it's a level of reverence that that my family, that we grew up in year after year after year, just like we passed down Thanksgiving traditions, Christmas traditions, if you're into that. We passed down also how to respect your elders, how to respect your parents. I've been pissed at my parents on several occasions, but never to the fact that I ever thought about disrespecting them verbally, or damn sure not putting my hands on them. Well, here this last, how do I say this, ladies and gentlemen? How this another one of these tragic events in our neighborhoods that we don't report, we don't talk about in our streams. We're too busy doing other things. We still too busy talking about each other. We still trying to clarify why we mad at each other about this or that. It is what it is. So, I go to a lot of these streams and I see what's going on. It's entertaining, but it gets mundane and old after a while. I was in a stream earlier. I won't call out the folks' name, but young lady, very young lady, according to some of us, there's actual folks saying that she shouldn't have a voice just because she's young, which is crazy to me. And when I was listening to her, one of the poignant points that she brought up, she says, you folks that get on these YouTube streams and tell me at 22 years old that I don't have a voice or I don't have an opinion. Do you tell your children that? If you got children that are 21, 22, don't you try and tell them to go out into the world and be the best person that you can be, and don't let anyone change your thought purpose or your direction, or stand up for your right. But I guess it's different when you're on a YouTube stream and nobody can see you. Yep. But anyway, folks, I'm going to get straight to this here. Coming up next here, Thanksgiving Day. 18-year-old kid. This is another one of these problems that we have in our community. We don't know when it's time to put our children out. We don't know when it's time to say, you know what? It's time for you to be a grown man. Little Jody, you got to go. When it was my time to leave my parents' house, folks, there was no question about it. It's like the baby birds. You just have that know about you to say it's time to go. Again, like I said in one of the streams that I posted last week, we have this problem with these 35 well, I'll say from 30 to 45-year-old, they want to be children, but they're grown people still living up under the parents' roof. It's not that you went into the world, lived a life, and came back home after your parents got old and you came back to take care of them. You never left your parents' house. Grown men doing this. You can see them on when you go down the road, folks. You see the young 18, 19, 20-year-old being chauffeured around by his mama, dropped off to work, picked up. And then we wonder why we see all these young men around here talking about that they disrespecting women. But they don't mind women because a lot of them got this elephant complex. They want their mamas to be their women. And a lot of times, black ladies, y'all been to that rule. Stepdaddy comes into the house. You want a husband, you want a man, but stepdaddy comes into the house, and y'all don't want the daddy to discipline the dude until they get so unruly that it comes to this. 2 children in this home. One 18-year-old, and they didn't mention, I guess the other child was a minor, so they didn't mention his name or his age. But he witnessed what happened to his mother in this home in Lawrenceville, Georgia, another place right down, ladies and gentlemen, when I say right down the street from where I used to reside, I mean right down the street. So let's take a look at this first clip here. Again, I hate to report stuff like this, folks, but we have to. Check this out. Well, before I go any further, I got to give my man Trey a big shout out. He's the narrator in this clip over here, and he's going to say a lot of things that I agree with. He's going to say some things that I disagree with. We'll cover that. And again, for you folks that's tuning in down there, I'm not exactly looking at the YouTube stream right now, so I'll be over there in just a minute or two, all right? So thank y'all for whoever's tuning in. I can't see you, but I'll holler at you in just a second.
A day meant to express thanks ends in tragedy for one family. A young man is accused of stabbing his mother to death. It happened on Misty Valley Court in Lawrenceville. Right now, Varian Hibbard is behind bars.
A young man is accused of stabbing his own mother to death right behind these doors. It happened around noon. Police say Varian Hibbard attacked his mother at their home on Misty Valley Court. Another family member inside the home, a boy, called 911. Hibbard was arrested at least twice last August on several charges, including false imprisonment, assault, and obstructing officers.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey.
Did y'all hear that? And did y'all see that? This young man looks to be, they say he's 18, but I hate to say it, folks, Father Time was not good with him. He looks like he already had a rough life at 18 years old. But then again, you know, he's living in the house with his mother and his younger sibling. Look at this kid. 18 years old. Rough. Grown man, if you saw him walking down the street, wouldn't you think so? Let me shout out a few folks that I see down in that big old what's happening to you. And how you doing there, Callie Jane? Good to see you, young lady. Thank you so very much for dropping in. But anyway, folks, again, was this mother protected? No. Was this black woman protected? No. You know why? Because there was several reports about this kid, false imprisonment, attacking folks, violent. He should have been removed from this home. He should have been removed from access to this black woman. The police should have done their due diligence. The family members should have done their due diligence, but I guarantee at some point in time, no disrespect to this lady, she poured her heart and her soul into raising this child and probably would not let anyone tell her that this child was not good. Like Basil, y'all remember that? How Basil took Oprah Winfrey through the ringer, spent up all her money. It's just some of our children, folks, I hate to say it, but They just ain't and won't be shit.
Back again to hit you off another video. Hope y'all are having a very great day. Hope y'all are having a very great week also. My day is going absolutely incredible. Big shout out to all the channel members, all subscribers, other Trey King Show family. Much love to each and every last one of you all. And you all, I know we just had a Thanksgiving holidays, and I know everybody do not celebrate the holiday, but to those who do, I hope you had a great time with you and your family. But we have a story that took place on Thanksgiving Day, yes, out of all places in Georgia. And big shout out to everybody in the great state of Georgia, everybody in the great city, town, village, or whatever you have you of Lawrenceville. Also, now, this story shows you why I say certain things on a video. Like, sometimes, you know, you got to understand that some of your children just ain't shit. Let's just be honest about it. Like, this is going to be one of those videos. Why'd you have to be honest with you? I mean, we family. Can I talk to you? So let me talk to you now. I know it's kind of hard for some of you all to accept the fact that some of your kids is not a damn thing. Some of them will grow up to be nothing, just a pile of doo-doo. But some of them will go on to do big and great things in their lives. And big shout out to them also. Now, this story right here shows you why you must. And some people say you shouldn't discipline your children. I ain't going to say that you have to beat them because I don't believe in beating children. But I do believe in discipline because ain't nothing worse than a badass child. Y'all already know how I feel about them badass kids. Because I know.
And he's absolutely right about that, folks. When we say discipline your children, as a man, when we say discipline your children, that don't mean beat them. When I was growing up, my parents did not believe in spare the rod, spoil the child. They put that rod on you. Not only did your parents get you, but your grandmother got you, your aunties got you, your uncles got you. If they caught you out there doing something that you weren't supposed to do. Nowadays, we all holler about accountability, but we don't hold our children accountable. A lot of us. You'll see a lot. Listen. Y'all can get mad at me all you want to, but you know I'm telling the truth on this. You will see a lot of black women defending their children no matter how wrong they are. My child don't do shit like that. My child don't do this. My child don't do that. But yeah, there's some of your children out there ain't shit. And sooner or later somebody gonna come in and say, hey, well, you don't talk about the white children like that. I don't raise white children. I didn't raise any white children, so how would I know about them? Stop throwing in what white world does when you come to talking about us. Pay attention to what we doing. Pay attention to what we as black people are talking about. Stop worrying about white folks sometimes. Unless it's going to do something to change everybody's way of living. But to single out the Karens from time to time, that's good. We need to. Especially when they call the police on us, because we know the police come with guns. But the simple shit of when they arguing with each other, that ain't our business. Who they dating ain't our business. Until they come over to this side, start being culture vultures, then we can jump on it. But other than that, don't, let white folks handle them. Let's talk about us. Let's talk about how this 18-year-old black kid who probably had everything murdered his mother. And the most wanted, listen, you have to be really mad at someone, folks, to stab them. That is the most, other than strangling somebody, that is one of the most, how do you say this? What word I want to, that's one of the most intimate ways to kill somebody. You have to be right up on them. You literally have to pull your arm back, push it forward, pull your arm back, push it forward. And all the while, this person is right up on you screaming, looking at you. You have to be really mad to stop. To continue. And that's why they say when they see these crimes of passion, it's something that's been brewing. It's something that's been brewing. And this kid, if you already heard part of his past already, he was a danger to his mother. But nobody protected this mother until it was too late, because it's your child. Take care of her. Take care of him. You brought this little demon seed into the world. When we tried to help you, you told us to leave me alone, mind your business. Now, I'm not saying this mother did that, but we do know there's plenty of black mothers out there that say exactly what I just said.
Already been there, and at one point in my life, I was a badass child, but one thing I never did, one thing I never did was raise my hand to hit my parents, mom or dad, because I knew one damn thing. If I touched my mama, she was going to beat the living hell out of me. Now, we have an 18-year-old guy who go by the name of Varian. Yes, his name is Varian. And he was very unhappy that day. Varian Hilbert, 18 years old, looking here, bit. I don't give a damn what Mom Dukes has to say. And I don't care about it being damn Thanksgiving. I'm going to have it my way like it's Burger King. 36 in the face. Now, he attacked his mom, 42-year-old Marcia Chance. And my condolences number one goes out to Marcia and also to the Chance family and to the friends of Miss Marcia, because from what I heard, she was a very good woman and she poured her all into her children. Some of you all say that regular. Some of you all know that you're pouring your all to your children. But like I said earlier in the video about 2 minutes ago, some of your children ain't shit. You could pour a whole gallon of sugar in them. Guess what? They ain't shit. They still gonna be sour when they grow up. But this goes to show you why you must make them respect your mind. But then at the same time, I think about this point too. I said, well, you know, the guy was 18 years old. Why in the hell, if you don't want to do what your mom had to say, why won't you move your ass out? See,
Hey, Classic Ruby, how you doing? Good to see you, young lady. Always a pleasure having you in here. Listen, and that's a very valid point. For all of you that run around your mama's house talking about I'm grown, get your grown ass out then. The rules haven't changed just because you got older. That's still your mama and your daddy's house. Only rule that changes now, you're not under the age of 18, so your parents are not really responsible for your day-to-day living. Some of our parents are nice and help out their children. There's nothing wrong with that. But some of us need to push them children out the door and say, hey, there's work at the post office, young man. Now, it's a good point there, Classic Ruby, that you put down in the listening lounge there, that this child had, and I'll have to call him a child because he's under 18, but this, you know, might have had some mental problems. Where could those mental problems stem from? We really don't know because none of this is reported. And again, that's another failing us as black people. We feel that when we have problems to talk about, the best thing to do is bottle them up. Don't go and seek professional help because we think that I don't want nobody in my business. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Ain't nothing wrong with my children. Well, in this case, something was definitely wrong, ladies and gentlemen. This kid had some issues. So much so that he murdered his mother on Thanksgiving Day. And not that he woke up in the morning with a bad thing. This happened in the afternoon, around noon. So what could you have possibly been that mad about at your parents for, that at noontime you decide to stab her to death?
all of you all got grown ass children right up in your house. Yeah, 19 years old, 25, 30 years old. Some of them been there 40, 50 years old, got a whole family in there, boyfriend, girlfriends, got 2, 3 kids. Like, how in the hell are you going to be grown in my damn house? You see what I'm saying? We don't play that in my family. Maybe some of you all family do or whatnot, where you all tell your children they grown, but you ain't doing what grown folks supposed to do. Let me tell you something, and it might offend some of you all, but who the hell cares? Look, if you stand with your mom, your dad, and you're able to be on your own, and you pass the age of damn 25, really 20, you need to reevaluate your life and get your shit together. But anyway, I'm not going to tarry too long with this story. I know you all got a few things to do. I got a few things to do. So I'm going to read a quick snippet. I'm going to give my opinion. All of it. Surely, as we go, man stabs mom to death on Thanksgiving Day. Look, I know we all got to die someday, but hell, if I die, don't let me die, number one, mostly on my birthday and also on Christmas. A lot of y'all may be saying, Christmas? Trey, you too old to be celebrating Christmas. To hell with that shit. I want my damn presents. But anyway, now this story's out of Gwinnett County. Yes, it's been a while, about a few weeks since we had a story out of Gwinnett County, but around this time of the year like Florida, Gwinnett County.
He said, to hell with that. I want my presents. Found that kind of funny. Hey, let's see, how you doing, young lady? Good to see you. Thank you so very much. And Vonda, how you doing? Thank y'all for tuning in over there. Let me see who else I got. Sir O, thank you so very much, my man. How you doing? How you doing? But anyway, folks, getting back to what my man was saying, and he's right. There's a certain point in time in your life to where you don't want to. No one knows the day of his death. If it did, it would be probably stenciled on the bottom of your foot, and we'd probably be scared as hell to take a step outside because that day is coming. And I think that's one of the great things about being human, that fact of unknown to how long your life expectancy is. But I don't know anyone that doesn't think about their mortality at some point in time or the other. You'd be an absolute fool not to think about death. You really would. And that's just my way of thinking anyway. But yeah, you don't want to die on your birthday. Yeah, you don't want to die on Christmas or Thanksgiving because the reason why I say that is because that dampens the holiday season for everyone else. It's not that you meant to die on that day. You could have went out and had a car accident or something like that. But in this case, this is doubly, triply tragic. Not only did this happen on Thanksgiving Day, this woman didn't die of natural causes. She died from the hands of someone that she birthed. Let that sink in. Beautiful black woman. Did all she could to raise these two children. Maybe sounds like she raised them by herself. She didn't get enough protection from her own son. You heard Trey call him a man because that's what at 18, that's what these young brothers run around. I'm a grown-ass man. Until they need to get something out their mama's purse.
And start studying up. Anyway, an 18-year-old man has been charged with murder of his mom on Thanksgiving Day. You know what I'm saying? And what makes it so sad is that the police was called out to his house several times before, around August the 2nd and around August the 15th. For what? For Varian Hibbert over there tearing up his mama's shit. You know what I'm saying? Why when kids get mad, you go tear up your mom's stuff? You ain't got no damn job in here. And you could tell how Miss Marcia was living. Look how she was living over there. Nice house. Got the new Cadillac ST6 out there. I've been trying to find one, but hell, ever since.
Listen, folks. This area of Lawrenceville, it's one of the high to-do areas. Listen, if Mike Vick lives in this area, what'd I tell you? There's no cheap homes in this area. This woman was doing pretty good for herself, despite some of the drawbacks in life. She was doing pretty good for her children. Because this is an exclusive, gated community that they're living in, folks. I know about this area because I live not too far away from here. I don't live there now, of course. But, of course, when you live somewhere for a while, you kind of go back and check up what's going on in the area. See if you made the right decision about getting the hell on. And yeah, Ruby, I remember you guys talking about this, but this is a tragic story. So there again, remember what I was saying in my last stream that, some of us in the YouTube streets don't report on stuff like this. I go to a lot of these streams, folks, especially now, again, I'll say this because I'm in rehab. I had some back surgery, and I'm rehabbing from it. So I got a lot of time to spend watching our folks online and how they handle themselves. Good Lordy Lord, some of y'all. Y'all don't even want young folks to talk like they ain't got no reason to be online. I heard that this morning. Ain't that right? Let's see. I heard that this morning. Because I'm young, I'm not supposed to have an opinion. What the hell? Where'd that come from?
Trey, you too old to be celebrating Christmas. The hell with that shit. I want my damn presents. Ain't got no damn job in here. And you could tell how Miss Marcia was living. Look how she was living over there. Nice house. Got the new Cadillac ST6 out there. I've been trying to find one, but hell, ever since this damn COVID and the chip shortage in the world, it's hard to get 22 model vehicles. So then I guess I have to wait to 2023. But anyway, Miss Marcia was over there living nice. And what do Varian do? Start tearing stuff up. Anyway, so this goes to show you right now that he has a history of being very disrespectful. What's that song Aretha Franklin used to sing years ago? All I need is a little what? R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Yes, not what Birdman said.
When y'all saying my name, put some respect on.
Respect. No, we talking about R-E-S-P-E-C-T, not R-E-S-P-E-K.
What's going on, Tyrone Church? How you good?
None of that. Anyway, now the authorities have said that Marcia Chance, 42 years old, a beautiful woman. Damn, Varian, what the hell you do that for? Was stabbed to death at her home near Lawrenceville, Georgia, according to the news station. Not according to the Trey King Show, not according to the damn subscribers, No, according to the source, because we speak number one over here, facts. That's all we do all day, every day, like my people in St. Louis say. Now her son, badass Varian Hibbert, who was at the scene, was arrested. I mean, damn, he ain't trying to leave a damn thing. I guess he was trying to stand by his word. I mean, shit, most people, number one, when he kill a mom, but to those who do, they will at least try to leave, flee the scene or whatnot. Varian said, the hell with that. This is my house till the cops come knocking like Maxwell saying. Anyway, he has since been charged with felony murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a knife during the commission of a felony. You a whole ass young man, and you had to pick up a weapon to fight your mama with? That's a crying damn shame. Number one, you shouldn't be fighting your mama at all. And I'm also sure a quite of you all feel the same way, especially you fellas. Look, I was more scared of my mom than I was my dad, because one thing I knew about my dad, I can reason with Pops. You see what I'm saying? I like Pops. They tripping at school or whatnot. My mom didn't want to hear that shit.
And he's not lying about that, folks. Me, I would expected my pops to be hard on me. I really did. But when moms put that hand on you, my mom's was left-handed, so that you never saw that left hand coming. But when she popped you on your back, you felt it for weeks. Now, you didn't feel the physical pain of it for weeks. I mean, you felt the psychological pain of, damn, my mama just slapped the hell out of me. I really must have pissed her off. I'm not doing something right for my mama to slap me like that. Maybe that's just the way I'm thinking. But yeah, I feared my pops. But there was one person I didn't really want to piss off. Whether I was acting up in school, I'm going to call your mom. Don't do that. I'm straightening up right now. Because when mom's got the word, everybody else got the word. Little music out there in school fucking up, y'all. Well, my mama didn't talk like that. Yeah, send him down here. I'll cut his ass. Lining up to get that discipline. Or to hand out discipline. Did we lose that? Yeah, we did. Now, because all the children got to do is pick up 1-800, my mama beating my ass, and make up any kind of story. And that's it. The parents are afraid to put their hands on their children when need be necessary. Am I saying whoop your children? No. Am I saying spank your children? Hell yeah. If they do something so egregious that the only way that you can get through to them is to pop them on that ass with a belt or pop them on that leg. I'm not saying abuse your children, but I am saying get their attention. Sometimes they don't hear you till you yell at them. And even when you yell at them, they continue to do the same things over and over and over and over until it gets out of hand like this. Like my man said, he was so comfortable. I don't have to say this. I think this is probably where some of the mental instability of this young man came into play, because he didn't even try to run. She sat there fucking. You know, I just killed my mama. I don't care. Y'all come take me to jail. Y'all know what's going to happen to him once he gets in jail, right? The booty warrior. Yeah, you right.
Shit. But why didn't you walk off? Why didn't you call me? Like, how the hell I'm going to call you? You know what I'm saying? We didn't have no damn cell phones then. Anyway, now according to the police, shortly before noon, right before they were getting ready to cut the Thanksgiving turkey, the sweet potato pie, the pumpkin pie, the pecan pie, and guess what? Let me tell you all something. If you all still got that Thanksgiving dinner up in your damn refrigerator talking about we're going to eat leftovers for the rest of the week, shame on you all. After 3-4 days, you should throw away your Thanksgiving dinner for those who did cook. Now, shortly before noon, on November the 25th, officers assigned to the East Precinct were dispatched to a domestic-related assault in the 1100 block of Misty Valley Court. Sound like a place where a lot of shit go down. But from the look of this neighborhood, wasn't too much going down. It's just a damn name, Misty Valley Court. Whenever I hear court, I think about what? A damn judge. Now, anyway, when they arrived, the officers found one deceased female inside the residence who was later identified as Chance. And also, Varian younger brother happened to be inside the home at the time this killing took place, and he is the one who called the police on Varian dumbass. But this goes to show you why you must make your kids respect you, because if they don't respect you, sooner or later, one day, they're going to run over you. Now, I always talk about signs in my videos. You know what I'm saying? We have signs on the highways and on these regular roads to remind us of what? Of where we going, if you're going to make a right or a left. To just basically be aware. It's basically for awareness, you know what I'm saying? And to point you in the right direction. So I'm not saying that my videos are all that, but at the same time, I will say this. There were signs, and those signs took place around August the 2nd, August the 15th, and probably before then. That's just when things escalated when Miss Marcia had to call the cops on him. But the first time your son sit up here and start tearing your house up, your son or your daughter, you should, number one, tell them to stop. If they don't want to stop, put their ass out right then and there. Some of y'all may give them a second chance to let them.
And what he just said, folks, some folks consider that harsh. But no, it isn't. It isn't harsh. If your child is over the age of 18, 20, 21, 22, and so on and so forth, and they're living at your house and they're not being productive, you have every right to put them out. Yes, they are your children, but you're not doing your children a service if you just allow them to sponge off you until you pass away. What's going to happen to them after? Independence is the key. I have a 25-year-old, autistic son. And when I leave this earth, am I worried about the life that he's going to have past me gone? No, because I taught my son independence. You can't rely on folks all the time. You can't always think that someone's going to be there for you. You have to take ownership and responsibility for some of the things you do, no matter how rough it is sometimes. No matter how much, how do you say this, inconvenience it is for you to go out and find a job. It's easier now to find a job than it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you had to walk around and literally drive from place to place, putting in the application here. I can understand some folks saying, well, I went to this place and they wasn't hiring. I filled out an application. But now you can sit online instead of sitting in the YouTube streets looking at streams all day long. You can literally go to the 99% of the places that are hiring and put in an application online. How hard is that? And you don't need a desktop to do it. You don't need a laptop to do it. Most of you folks walking around with it in your hand, called cell phone. That's just a little bitty computer that you can talk on. Now, should this mother had cut this young boy's apron strings? You don't know because we weren't there. But were there the signs that this young boy should have been removed from that home? Yes. Yes, it is. Sometimes the best place for some people is in an institution until they can get some, how do I say this, not being disrespectful, till they get some act right. I'm not saying dope your kid up, or I'm not saying feed them medications that try to keep them balanced, but what I am saying, recognize the signs that are around you. And sometimes, even though you don't want to, it's best to tread lightly when someone may be having an issue. In this case, I'm sure this mother did everything she could not to have to call the police on this son. And unfortunately, at this time, she decided not to call the police. It cost her life. Sad situation, but true. Are black women protected? Protected from who? In this case, no, she wasn't.
Come back, but at the same time, one time is enough, but 2 times is too damn many, and 3 times, like in this case, you're out. And I'm not trying to be funny, but you must know this right here. Look, you must make your children respect you, because if they don't respect you, sooner or later, they're going to run over you. And then they're going to start looking at you like you just one of their friends or whatnot. And you must also remember this, is that you're the parent. Your job is not to be your child's best friend. Some of y'all want to be your children's best friend. Don't do that. That's a bad recipe. Now, you can be cordial. You can be nice to your child. But at the same time, when you put yourself in a friend category, guess what? You're going to be treated like a friend. And you know how friends be treated. You know what I'm saying? So what you should do is just be a parent. If your child don't want to abide by your rules, put them the hell out. If the state don't like it, tell them to fuck off. If family and friends don't like it, tell them to keep the child, or they can fuck off too. But anyway, you all let me know what you think about this video. And I'm sad that this had to happen to a beautiful young soul. And out of all days, right on Thanksgiving, and you best believe, most likely, that she cooked a big meal. And this is the thing she get for taking care of her badass child, 18-year-old Varian Hibbert. But anyway, you all let me know what you think about this video. If you think she get for taking to a beautiful young soul. And I'll
Hey, Hassan, how you doing, good brother? Let me pause that right on that lovely 42-year-old black woman. No, she was not protected, folks. She wasn't protected by her family. She wasn't protected by the police. And she damn sure wasn't protected by her son. Could you imagine the last breath that this woman took? Knew that her life was taken from her by someone that she bore? My man was right. Hey, put him out. If the police are so mad about you putting out your grown ass son, hey, you take care of him. If your family members are so mad about you taking care of him, listen, you take care of him. You see what you can do with him. Or you see what you can do with her. Because for 18 years, I've done everything. Look at where we live. My son don't hurt for nothing. And this is what I'm dealing with. I gave him everything. He got all the latest clothes. He's got all the latest shoes. He's got all the latest fashions. Got his own room, got his own TV, living in a plush, nice neighborhood. He's not in the ghetto. Like Ruby said down in the chat room, somebody will blame this on single black mamas later on. Saying it's her fault for having children. The fuck? Y'all know who I'm talking about. There's a sector of these niggas out here that will say just that watching this video. It was her fault. I got one more clip that I'm going to run at you folks over here. And this is another one. Like I said, I got a lot of time on my hands. I'm sorry about it, but it is what it is. Got some time on my hands, so I surfed the YouTube streets. And, I picked up a few new words. Ain't that right, Shar? Shamalama-doo-damn. That's my new word. Don't everybody use it, okay? Shamalama-doo-damn. When you're trying to make up something, like Jamel Hill and that other chick that we talked about, just make you up a new word. Shamalama-doo-damn. Because this is about what we're about to talk about next here, folks. Like the title says, are black women protected? Listen to this guy. He calls himself, let's see, is it, I forgot where the name of the stream is coming from, but I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this young brother before. But is he right or is he wrong? Protect black women debunked. Is he right or is he wrong? So far, if you listen to this first video and if you look at that title, you're wrong, ain't he? Let's get it.
He puts all of our failures on them as black men.
Even if you look at the Hispanic population,
promiscuity is easy for a woman. Anything that comes easy, it does not build character or demonstrate any kind of value.
The only people that's walking around complaining about their women is that guy up there, the guy on the far right. I'm not.
Hold on.
Well, so far, I mean, if you just go and find one instance of a Latino or Asian man upset at their women, then I think you're doing yourself a disservice, because there's several out there. We're not the only people that are disappointed with some of our women. We're not the only group of people that talk about them. But unfortunately, when we talk about our women, it's front and center. Y'all don't realize that? If there's an Asian stream saying that how promiscuous their women are, even though you can go to some places, and where I live at in Charleston, there's a massage parlor right down the street from the church. And who's in these massage parlors? You got the dude at the desk, and you got the scantily clad little bitty Asian women walking around, ready to accept you when you come through the back. We love you long time. Yep. But when we talk about the underbelly of our women, all of a sudden we not protecting them, or we're the only ones that do it. Well, so far, I like my man, but those folks that he put up in front of them, so far that says that, we're not the only ones that talk shit on our chicks.
Let me address you then, brother.
So,
that you don't see
wait, we're gonna do this discourse respectfully.
We have Poor Man's Podcast, Trey. We're gonna bring him up too.
Bring Trey up.
There you go. Hey, what's up?
Y'all been on this train for a little minute, huh?
A little
Yes,
minute.
we wanted to go on a little bit longer so we can have some time for you. Welcome.
Yes.
What? Okay, so what's going on? Was it Louisiana?
Louis
Louis how do you say it?
Yeah, Louis. My boy Louis. What's going on, man? What you talking about over here, bro? You said something about what is it? The lack of resources, or what is it?
I mean, to make a long story short, I just simply said, man, like women are basically reacting off of us, bro. It's literally where it comes from, and it started from like the crack era, the integration era, all that stuff, man. And it's just when they start taking out the jobs away from the black man, and we looking for it's deeper than what I feel is really being discussed. So, and we really put all of our we say women don't accept accountability when it's really which is true. I'm not saying that they don't accept accountability, but I think we do it way more than they do, and we push all of our failures on them.
And did you hear that, brother? Yep. A lot of that. If you go to a lot of these streams, folks, no matter what it is, if it's raining outside, black women caused it. And we have streams like that. I'm going to try and I see you all the time, my man. It seems like we be bouncing around the different streams together. How you doing? I'm going to call you SP. Passe. I think that's how you say your name. My bad if I'm saying it wrong there, good brother. But I appreciate you dropping on in. How you doing? But like my man is saying, we tend to, as black men sometimes, to always say it's the black woman's fault. Everything that's going wrong, single parents, is the black woman's fault. We ain't got no money, it's the black woman's fault. Hoes is winning. You got stream after stream after stream after stream after stream after stream after stream talking about hoes is winning. Is hoes winning over here? The hoes be winning when you talk about them. When you make that your focal point, yeah, the hoes is winning then. If that's your focal point of what you get here up on here to talk about every day, they are winning in your place, in your establishment. The hoes is winning. But over here, shamalama do damn, not here. It's who you put yourself around. Garbage in, garbage out, folks. I don't freak with hoes. So the hoes can't be winning in my neighborhood. You're a product of your environment. Am I right or wrong? Yeah, and you're right, Ruby. A lot of these folks, they spell protect, but they don't really know the meaning of it. What is it? What do you mean? A lot of these young brothers, again, they want to say, well, the old heads, the OGs didn't pass us along these traits of how to treat our women. That's some bullshit. Some traits you should pick up. Hey, Sheed, what's going on, good brother? Some traits you should pick up automatically. Again, I'll speak on the line. You go to the you white YouTube streams. They don't call them. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. It's just not in the public eyes. We quick to put our laundry out in the front yard, hang it out for the whole world to see. Let it air dry. But so far, let's see what else is going on in this clip here.
Well, what do you think about the fact that the reason why African Americans are probably last is because we don't have any family anymore?
But that starts with us.
Does it?
The man is the leader.
We talk about the lack of resources, but during slavery, during Jim Crow, and during segregations, we had the highest marriage rates than any other populace.
I guess
did we have resources while we was married, or we was just married and we were.
And see, folks, this is one of those things that I disagree with, my man. To equate marriage back to slavery, you didn't choose who you were going to be married to. You didn't choose. You didn't have the decision whether to say, boss, I want to marry Miss Luda May. No, your master or your overseer paired you up with somebody, whether you like them or not. So to equate marriage, like being married to slavery, then out of slavery, to me, is kind of like a not a fair comparison. Because correct me if I'm wrong, you just couldn't back in slavery days decide that you was going to go. You know what? We getting married May 2nd in 1861. Have us a big wedding at the church, or did you just jump the broom in front of the slave cabin in front of Massa and Missy Ann? I'm just saying. So I don't get the comparison there. But now, if you want to talk about the current state of Black America and marriage, I could throw some facts and figures at you as well, but I'll let you do it first, my man. Here we go.
We were just married. Even if you look at the Hispanic population in America, the Hispanic men make less than black men on average, but yet they still have high marriage rates. Why so? If it's all because of resources and lack thereof.
I'm not saying that's the full source, but I'm just simply saying like that's part of the reason. Another part of the reason is that I'm sure that those men accept accountability for their actions, and they know after. And then I do believe that they know that the role of the male figure in the household. We done lost that way back then, bro. And we over here trying to learn all of this on the fly. Like all of this starts from no man in the household, bro.
Yeah. 80% of the households are women, and they've been like that for like 20 years, 30 years. How long has it been like that?
Y'all wonder why women is acting promiscuous, but all this sexual activity they doing because they daddies ain't putting they daughters on no game, bro. About these men. Why do you think men always say, "Oh, you don't need a man. You don't need a man when you I'm gonna teach you to go get your own." The camera assemblies ain't even full all the way.
And here's the reason why I'm glad I don't have girls. I have children, but I don't have girls. Do you hear what my man just said? They're not putting his daughters up on game. That's where the problem with a lot of you young fellas out there right now is. Y'all think this is a game. This is life. Not putting your daughter up on game. A game is something that to be played. A game is something that has stumbling blocks that you need to be mastered. That's the game. This is life. This is real life. You choose the wrong mate and you could end up dead from it. You go out at the wrong time. You don't recognize the signs of a man that will rape you when you say no. That's not game. That's real life. Ask my nieces how me and their uncles speak to them about their would-be dates. They don't come through this door without being thoroughly vetted. Now, is there some ain't shitness that my nieces have got a hold of? Yeah. Will there be some women out in the life that I've lived that would consider me to be ain't shitness? Yeah. Because its situation didn't work out. It's not because I didn't beat them or cheated on them or stole from them. That's what I always say. If you really want to get rid of a woman, just steal $100 out of her purse. She'll be gone by tomorrow. Poof. Nothing need to be said. She'll just get the fuck on. And if this nigga will steal $100 from me, he'll steal from anybody. And I sleep with him every damn night. So if you really want to break up a relationship, just steal $100 from her. Not 99, 100. Something about them 3 digits. Shamalama do damn.
Thorough with it all the way, because he ain't even like. I was watching a video of his. He said the gospel is of some of the mothers and them is teaching them that you don't need a man, that you want to go get you a job so you don't need a man. Why are they saying that, bro? Why? Just ask yourself, why are they saying that? What in the world was the mother going through for her to even say that? For they to even spit out of their mouth, for they to say that to their daughter? What was they saying?
Well, would you assume that it's a different experience than any other demographic in America, even ones that have less than us financially and resourcefully?
I mean, it probably is a different demographic, but that's my whole point. Is like a different experience, but it's just they're. Go ahead. What you saying? Go ahead.
I kind of say that to say this: it's very hard to. We have a lot of people that have terms like protect black women, right? But it's very hard to protect black women when if you ask black women what they prefer, they often say hood guys. So when you build a culture where the women in that culture worship the men that are part of the problem in that culture.
What are the type of guys you prefer? Scam.
Is he right about that statement, ladies and gentlemen? Is he right? In all fairness, is he right? Because, a lot of times, not to say I'm from Squaresville or nothing, but for a lot of women out there, especially the majority of my adult life, I was, affiliated with the military and things like that, but they always considered me to be from L7, Squaresville. Like I couldn't have no fun. Right. I need the bad boy. How many women say that? I need the bad boy. It's just something about a bad boy. And most of these bad boys that they look for, these ain't the ain't shit niggas. I hate to say that sometimes I agree with them folks over there at the Manosphere, but yeah. I mean, let's take Hollywood. Yeah, let's take Hollywood for instance. Look how many of those chicks that they call industry chicks, they go from puffy, like Jennifer Lopez for instance. How many folks did she date? Oh, let's talk about Kim Kardashian. How much ass did she give up? In this case, to where them folks say that hoes is winning, we don't look at them girls as hoes because they got money behind them. But we'll look at these ladies that so-called themselves living in the projects. We quick to call them hoes. We got Brittany, what's her name? Brittany Renner running around talking about this and that about ding-a-ling. We heard another woman, Amanda Seals, talking about we got, what's this, ding-a-ling privileges. Who? Any of y'all fellas down there got that? Is there a place where we can sign up for ding-a-ling privileges? I like my man saying, and I'm sorry, but I'm kind of leaning to the side of him being right on this point. Women do control the sexual encounters. They do, because no matter, I hate to say this, folks, no matter how much you want that woman, if Mr. Uncle Sam was a nasty man, if he didn't jump out the window with the dick in his hand, it ain't gonna work. If you don't have an erection, no matter how much you want that woman, all you can do is pat it and lick it. That's it. I'm sorry. But a woman, she can have sex with any willing participant as long as that pole is up and ready to go. Am I right? So who controls it? And even if he is getting it, what's the average sexual time that a man spends with a woman? If you go look at the experts, they say 15 to 13 minutes. That's foreplay included. But let some of these brothers tell it, they knock it out to the early morning. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours up in that ass. Stop it.
A drug dealer or a 9 to 5?
Drug dealer. I want him to move that weight.
Scammers, you feel me? If your piece is hit, I piece is hit. Scammer. 9 to 5, drug dealer.
Funny niggas that get money, 6 foot. I like a scammer.
Scammer at the top, and then 9 to 5 second, and then drug dealer bottom.
Drug dealers.
No. 9 to 5. 9 to 5.
How many of them women did y'all hear holler about drug dealers? Drug dealers, 9 to 5. No. One girl said, no, I need me one 9 to 5. Drug dealers. Do some of your women that say that know what comes with dealing drugs? It's 3 things I forgot to say. Death, jail, and if you the woman, putting money on that nigga's books every month, because he gonna call you. Your drug dealer boyfriend that's up in jail waiting for you to come bail him out. If that's what you want in life, you don't want much. So don't be mad at the manosphere folks over there when they call you out, when they hear you saying that. Don't be mad about it, because you just heard it. Drug dealer. How many of y'all women down in the chat room want a drug dealer? I don't think none of y'all. Or you wouldn't be here listening to me. I can guarantee you that. I guarantee you that.
9 to 5.
Drug dealers. 9 to 5.
Then scammers, then drug dealers.
Wow. I mean, I'm used to drug dealers.
You said what?
I'm used to drug dealers.
Drug dealer, and then a scammer, then fuck the 9 to 5. I want the scammer first, then the drug dealer, then the 9 to 5.
unfortunately, there are just men that will sleep with women and not take care of their children. That exists amongst every demographic of men. And those men should be cast away. Of course, those men are a part of the problem and should be dealt with. But you'll never get rid of those women or those men. And in the future, and let's just take Future, because I know people you don't like celebrities.
I thought you was gonna use the baby because I was just thinking that.
I could use the baby.
No, because all the men were defending him, and I'm like, what in the world?
No, not the baby.
He's one of those guys, though.
See, there again, folks, you have to pay attention to the subtle nuances of what some people say sometimes. No, they were not defending the baby of putting his mama out. Folks were defending the baby because he did not put his hands on that woman. He documented what was happening to him, and for that, some folks got mad. Instead of doing like that other guy did and putting his baby mama through the TV and the baby stroller, he documented and say, hey, this ain't going down like this. I'm not going to be labeled as that cat that we got to investigate beating on my baby mama. Let me videotape this shit. Let me show y'all exactly what she doing. Let me show you how far she tried to push me. You can't blame some men for recording or putting it out there that, hey, it's not me, that's the violent one. Now, do I feel some sympathy for the young lady that was put out the house with the young child? Yeah, I do. I feel bad for that. But I understand why he did it. I'd much rather have you out of this house than spend a night in jail and then money on lawyer after lawyer after lawyer and having to defend myself because I put my hands on you. So that's the only pass that I'm giving him on that, the baby. But like my man said about Future, come on now. Future's a rap star. How many women just, when he go to a concert, just throw the drawers at him? When people use these celebrities as the measuring stick, I think again that's unfair, because I don't give a damn. Let's go back to Good Times. Jimmy Walker was an ugly motherfucker, like Eddie Murphy said. But Jimmy Walker got more pussy than you could shake a stick at, just because he was a celebrity. Come on, look at Lil Wayne, ladies. If you saw Lil Wayne walking down the street, is that somebody you would be willing to say, yep, that's that nigga I'm looking for? But because Lil Wayne has a celebrity status in our society, women will throw their drawers at him everywhere. Women will clamor and sneak in the hotel rooms to sleep with these NBA stars, these rap stars, these football stars. So a lot of this promiscuity, coochie giving, can't be blamed on the celebrity. You can't blame a young man that's being, coming at women, coming at him, beautiful women coming at him, exotic women coming at him from all angles. He's human. So to use Future or any of these other celebrities as the measuring stick, I think again is unfair. Because you know what's going on in that world. The industry chicks know what's going on in that world. That's why so many of the industry chicks got babies by the same daddy. Lil Wayne got multiple babies mamas. Most of them are in the industry. They were video vixens. You know what I'm talking about. Karen Steffens. She made a living off of being a video vixen. And then wrote a book about it. And men got mad because she told on them. Y'all put yourself out there. Never trust a big butt and a smile, especially when there's butt naked shaking in front of you. Mesmerizing, ain't it?
Well, I'm sorry, go on.
Well, yeah, and the problem is all of those women were saying, oh, you need to leave him, you need to do that. And those are the same women that are going to be in his DMs tomorrow, I guarantee it. And that's just the truth. Like, look at somebody like Future. Future has 8 baby mothers. So in this situation, you have one man that is sexually irresponsible, but you have 7 women, because every woman after the first woman knew that he wasn't taking care of his children, but still decided to lay down and open their legs to him. Not only that, but then grant him a child. right? So in this situation, you have one sexually irresponsible man that is Future, but then you have 7 sexually irresponsible women. And what those women do is they then get online and they say, somebody help me. This guy just ran away from me, but you knew what kind of guy he was before you got involved with.
And again, very true. You know, so this goes back to what I was saying. Are black women being protected? Some things you can't protect. You can't protect someone from their self, because just like he said, no matter how many times Future turns down one of these women, no matter how many times that you ladies know that Future has 7 baby mamas, y'all still a flock to him. Not saying all women, I have to put that disclaimer on it, but we know there's enough of these group. That's what they came up with a name, groupies. We know there's enough groupies out there, black, white, Asian, whatever, that for every one that he turns down, there'll be a couple more in his DMs or standing up by the hotel room. So black women, we ask for protection, but y'all refuse to be accountable for moving out of the protection grid sometime. If that makes sense. You can't skirt around 285 and keep driving in a circle, and all of a sudden when you need some help want to jump off on I-75. You're still driving in circles. You got to get inside the perimeter for this protection of black men. Because once you step outside of that, what are we supposed to do? When you are on a video or you continue to label yourself as a promiscuous black woman, what protection do you expect from black men? Are we supposed to defend your honor? No, she a good girl. She don't give it up to nobody. I know some ladies are mad, but I'm just talking about the black ladies today. I get on the brothers too now. In all fairness, I jump on the brothers. I just did a little while ago. But see, that's the thing about us. We're scared to speak frankly about each other because of, especially on YouTube, a fear of getting your channel shut down. I was on the stream the other day and I heard somebody asking, if your husband asked you to shut down your YouTube stream, would you do it? If your boyfriend said you're paying more attention to your YouTube stream and it's becoming a distraction in our relationship, 50% of the women in that chat room said they would not shut down their stream. He just has to deal with it. I can understand if that's your business. But for a lot of us, this is a hobby. This is something we do in our spare time. So you mean you willing, as a woman, you're willing to put your marriage on the line just to talk to some folks you don't know that might shoot you a cash app every now and again? Or even yet, get behind the screens in the back chats and won't hit up on you, and your husband read it. What that nigga talking about? Oh, he just funny. You can't go back on that stream no more. But then where my friends is at. Shit. Jesus, jumping up Christ. Where you do that at?
You knew that.
Yeah,
That's true.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I think ain't nothing to argue with about that.
What is the Trey? What is the
I'm sorry, 30% of men will be virgins by the age of 30. That means they will have never even touched a woman, let alone a guy that got a lucky night. What I'm basically saying is largely women have the sexual selection. Now, with hypergamy in this modern situation, a lot of women are choosing to date the same men. And when men have options, like y'all was just talking about, y'all said, why would a man back out of sleeping with a woman if they're already engaging in it? Of course, if she doesn't want to. But what I'm trying to say is, if a man has sexual options, they tend to not do well with them. And so you have guys like Future, like the baby, who women just flock to, and they're a part of the problem. And if we really want to be truthful about our culture, that is a huge problem in our culture. Guys that are seen as more conservative, guys that are seen as more, I don't want this kind of behavior around me, twerking in restaurants, they're looked at as lame. If we're just honest, nobody would have wanted Will Smith unless he became Will Smith. I mean, the dude was a black man in school for theater. Let's be completely honest. Nobody's checking for Will Smith until he becomes Will Smith.
Is he right? Yeah, he is. Nobody was checking for Will Smith until, I mean, even when Parents Just Don't Understand was out, we all listened to the song, but we looked at Will Smith as a fad that was about to pass. We was more interested in DJ Jazzy Jeff than we was The Fresh Prince. Makes sense. Ladies, am I right? Ladies, is he right? Y'all wasn't checking for the Fresh Prince until he got into that real entanglement situation with Jada. The fuck is an entanglement? That's cheating. But see, we give Jada a pass too. She wasn't willing to accept the responsibility. She wasn't willing to hold herself accountable, although she'll get at the red table and try to hold brothers accountable for their ain't shitness when she ain't shit herself. According to how we see things, you're married and you're having an affair with a much younger male. You get on a public platform and then almost, the point depends on how you look at it, sneak attack your husband. I don't think I would have been on that panel. Cut the goddamn camera. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna continue this conversation. Baby, we got some talking to do, but it won't be online. And in this case with Will and Jada, you ain't got to worry about half because they both got their own money. Half my ass. You take your money and go your way, and I'll take my money and go my way. They both got money now. But like my man said, y'all wasn't checking for Will Smith or a whole lot of these other celebrities until they became famous. The one thing I did a couple of weeks ago on dare I bring this up again, the young ghetto gagger. She even said it. I wouldn't let just no average everyday guy do this to me, but these are professionals. So I can just let them disrespect me in any chance they want, anytime they want to, as long as they pay me $2,000 for it. I'm just saying. Y'all want to move out the protection gate, black ladies, and then want to come back in and say black men ain't protecting you. Come on now. You can't have it both ways.
In our culture. And that's just the unfortunate part about our culture that we do have to deal with. And that's going to take accountability when it comes to our women and selecting potential mates. If we're just completely honest, our women are not selecting the right men as well. Now, I do say I agree with you in terms of resources and black men having to do better. But we do have to understand that 60% now, and this is in 2021, over 60% of African American men are in the middle class or in the upper class. Right? So where's the excuse now? You know what I'm saying? Like, if we talk about crime and black men being in prison, from 2000, just in 12 years, from 2006 to 2018, 34% decrease, the fastest decreasing demographic in America, African American men. We really have something to be proud of as African American men because we're doing better, statistically speaking, than ever before. But what we have on our women's side is the top of the charts in terms of obesity, top of the charts in terms of single motherhood, top of the charts in terms of least likely to get married, and all these problems. But
And see, here's one of the problems that I have with that last statement. In order to get to the top of the charts, folks, you had to have some help getting there. And this is the problem what I have with a lot of the young, in this case, a lot of the young brothers. You know, y'all quick to want to say that it's all about the black women. It's all about their fault. Obesity, okay, that's something that you have to deal with yourself. If you feel that you're obese and if you're overweight, which is, you know, that's not only black women, that's just the country as a whole. The majority of the people in this country, as we know it, are overweight. And that's black, white, Mexican, whatever nationality you are. We are a fat ass country. That is, in fact, in generalities. It is what it is. But again, we in our community, we throw our women up there as you know, as target practice. See, look at that big old black woman right there. Look how big she is, Aunt Jemima looking ass chick. Going out with the head bonnets and, you know, with the two babies on her hip. Not realizing, minus the weight gain, she didn't get them babies by herself. So when it comes to that single mother being at the top of it, there's some niggas that need to be included in this equation. There should be an asterisk by that and say, hey, you know, niggas helped here. Niggas helped us get up to this status. Hey, what's up, L. Nixon? How you doing, my brother? And you're right. You know, we could use that particular in the drug dealer and you know, the ballers in the neighborhood. But as we see, some of the things that we watch, a lot of the real ballers get the fuck out the neighborhood. And for those who don't, become targets. You ask Ice-T, once he got rich and famous, did he get out the hood? He said, hell yeah. I got out the hood. It's not to say that I don't reach back, but I got out the hood.
The excuse was that we didn't have enough resources, but we're doing better than ever before. And yet the women are still only 25% of them are ever going to get married, which is lower than it was in the 1960s by about 10%. So it's like, we're doing better, then why aren't we getting married? And I think that that's the problem that we're having, because there's so much competition on both sides. There's no community. We don't have any wealth in our community because it just bleeds out because of Versace, or people are insecure because everybody's trying to be single and attract everybody and wear all the flashy shit. That's the problem with our culture. And the women love the guys that wear the flashy shit, if we're just completely honest.
Again, I can't dispel what the brother's saying. Because, if you go out there in your regular Levi jeans and, a pullover shirt or whatever, a lot of women ain't checking for you. If you just go out there with some, not to say that the Nikes, but just some, off-brand shoes, the women ain't checking for you. Some men believe that. And it actually, in some cases, it is true. But if you go out there with the Versace, the Burberry, and all this other different stuff on, and driving the big fancy car, or the little sports car, a lot of women just walk up to you just because of that, because of the material things that they see in front of them, not giving a damn who's behind it. You remember it was a movie way back when, Wesley Snipes, Teresa Russell, it was called Sugar Hill. Wesley Snipes was the drug dealer. The other dude was an NBA player that the chick decided that she wanted to go out and have a good time with. Got her back to the house, had a few drinks or whatever, and shortly after she thought she was coming for a good time, he got violent with her, busted her in the mouth, called her the B word, the S word, and all that other stuff. But that was her choice, because instead of looking at the man, she saw the gold watch, the expensive car, and the way he was flashing his money around the bar. I'm gonna go get that baller. Sometimes when you get a baller, the baller rolls over you.
And I just think that
that's very true, and they go about it the wrong way. I think the issue is that sometimes those women are glorified. Just like you can be a baby daddy and now you can make $1 million business, you can get recognition, you can be seen as somebody. So then people think, okay, well, even if I don't get the ring, if I can be Moneybags' baby mama, I'm gonna be set for life and I'm gonna be famous. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of culture is what yields women to feel like to trade. I don't know. I think it's Lewis. I think that kind of culture is also toxic, and that kind of culture also contributes to it, because there is a part of baby mama culture that's glorified. I mean, Basketball Wives is a whole show with no wives and all baby mamas, and it is no, but you have to come on. Even if you
come on, he's right. She's right. Basketball Wives, not a wife on that show. The Real Housewives of Atlanta. There's only 1 or 2 wives on the show. The rest of them are baby mamas. But we watch it religiously. Think about this, folks. If I'm wrong, somebody type it in the chat room. But Maury, and his rhetoric, that is part of our vernacular in the black world. You are not the baby's daddy, or you are the baby's father. Even so much so Eddie Murphy popularized it in one of his movies. Jerry. And on those shows, you look at the audience, it's a white audience, but up on the stage is us, usually one of our black women, running away after you done tested 23 goddamn men talk about, he ain't your baby's daddy. You mean to tell me some of y'all are that goddamn promiscuous that you don't know who you slept with? Again, I'm not a doctor, but I know there's only a certain times in a month that a woman can become pregnant, and when she's most at her most fertile point. If you don't know that about yourself being a woman, sorry, that ain't my. Oh, it ain't my fault. I don't care. Listen to me, I'm not saying if I was born into this world as a woman, and if I was not ready to have a child, there is no way in hell I would let no man come up in me without a condom. That's if I was a woman. Not only I don't want to get pregnant, but also I don't want you to leave me with something that you might have brought from the chick down the street. Some of the protection that you black women want, just like you go out and buy a taser to keep the niggas off you that might want to rob you, just like you go buy a pistol to protect yourself, sometimes you got to go buy a condom to protect yourself. Niggas say he ain't got one, hold up. I like you enough, but I don't like you that much. Here. I'm just saying. Not saying I'm right about everything, folks. But I'm just offering up my opinion, because a lot of you folks that I look down in the chat room, a lot of y'all haven't been on this earth for as long as me, so it's called trial and error for me. Handing back some of the errors that I see, or some of the errors that I made, or some of the accomplishments of what I did right or wrong when it comes to dealing with the fair sex of us. Even the women that I broke up with at one point in time can never say that they didn't feel protected when they were with me. They weren't comfortable. Or if they slept in my house, or if we were married, that if someone broke in, that they would be protected. Again, it doesn't ring true for all women that I've dealt with, but I think I'm not batting 1,000, but I got a high batting average when it comes to that. So, are we lacking in some aspects of protecting our women? Yep, yes we are. As men, as black men, yes we are. We are the keepers of our castles. And sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we rather sit in a stream full of men and talk about what's wrong with women. And part of the problem what's wrong with women is niggas sitting over in streams talking about them. Hoes is winning. These hoes ain't loyal. There was another stream that I was looking at. A young lady said, men are like tissue in a box. Use it up, pull another one out. There's some women out there that think that way. But when you go into some of these streams, and if you say that, all hell breaks loose. Why is that? Are they talking about you? You got to expose the underbelly of us folks enough in order for us to get right. It's not saying, in the years that I've been on this earth, I don't think we have accomplished that yet. We've made strides towards it. But as far as holding each other accountable for some of our fuckery, no, we don't. Again, I was in a stream earlier this morning where the young lady was saying, because I'm at a certain age, these men that come to these panels and these chats think that I shouldn't have an opinion. I should think that I'm not, because I'm younger than them, that I have no say-so. In another panel, I heard women saying that these men come to these chats and everything is fine between us until they come in. They create anarchy and discord and then leave, and they sit back and watch the cat fight. Y'all quick to pull out the Vaseline and tennis shoes in some of these streams. I seen it for myself. Fighting amongst each other over what a dude caused. Let me say this, folks. There's 6 streams that I could count that I visited in the last week that's been controlled and owned by women. Only 2 of those streams that I went to didn't have some fuckery going on in it. Only 2 of them. That ain't it. Think about that. Two of the streams that I went to was talking about the uplift of us, black men and black women. And even if there was a disagreement about a topic that was brought up, or there was no screaming, no yelling, no arguing, it is what it is. Agree to disagree sometimes. But a lot of these other places that you go to, thunderstorms.
You didn't watch it? That was a moment in the culture. It was a moment in the culture when these shows about exes and these shows about their relationships and getting into their personal lives and all of that became a thing. And reality TV show was allowed those people to become somebody.
Yeah, well, I think that's part of because we don't.
That's
have
part of the problem.
We don't have any control of our branding. If you look at who's making the money from all of these shows that humiliate African Americans, it ain't gonna be nobody that look like us, if we're just completely honest.
True.
So we don't have any control of our image, and there are people that are willing, like you said, to just sell themselves out to the highest bidder for fame or for wherever the thing that they want. But generally, it's selfish reasons.
My boo, I'm just here for the.
Well, is he right about that? We don't control our own destiny is basically what he's saying, because our way of living is often up for the highest bidder. Even way back in the olden times, they say if you want to find about black history, you got to really go to the Greeks to find out about our history. And if you want to find out about how much fuckery is going on in the black community, all you got to do is turn on the TV and click on an episode of Jerry Springer or Real Housewives of Atlanta or Basketball Wives or something like that, and you'll see us on full display. Chicks coming on the screen with no underwear on. Chicks fighting over baby daddies, knowing, like, take for instance, this guy Stevie J and Faith Evans. Stevie J has shown damn near every woman in Hollywood that he ain't shit. But yet, if you go back and chronicle through that particular love and hip hop, you'll see Stevie J got a woman in every one of those shows, a different one. You got this black woman on there called Mimi Faust that's saying that she want to be respected, but in order for her to get respect, she figured that she had to go and put out a sex tape and then lie about how it got out to the public. These are the same women that are running around talking about black men don't protect them. Well, you had a black man right there in front of you. You didn't use him as your protection. You used him as a vessel, as y'all say, as these young folks say now, to grab the bag. Before I get out of here, let me run this across you folks here right quick, like too. Let me see this here. Let me pull this up. Just 1 second there, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on just a second. Let me pull this particular. I got to go over to the other side of things here and pull this up. Yep. Shit happens. There you go. Let me put this in for just 1 second. I can change what's going on. There you go. All right, now I can change exactly what's going on here. Let me put my camera back on. Put the cat out the bag so I can see what I'm doing. All right, let me go back over to this next side over here. I see you good folks over there on the YouTube side. Now let me pull up this particular. This is what I want you folks to see right here. Is this it? Yep. About statistics. Racial makeup of America's prisons. Part of this, what folks are saying that, going back to it, my man said that, we as black men, we're gaining ground. Well, if you looked at this article here, and this is released, as you said, October 13th, 2021. Nationally, black Americans are incarcerated at 5 times the rate of white Americans through some of the states. Disparity is far greater. Well, let's scroll to some of them states. Wisconsin. Where's all the anarchy and discourse coming in right now? In Wisconsin. Oklahoma, Idaho, Montana. Did y'all know there was brothers in Montana? Arizona, Iowa, Alaska, Oregon, Vermont, Nebraska. What's funny about that, folks? That's the what? 2, 4, 6, 8, top 10. None of them are in the South. None of those states, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, Idaho, Montana, Arizona, Iowa, Alaska, Oregon, Vermont, Nebraska, none of them are in the South. The national view of U.S. incorporated population by race and ethnicity shows a high rates of disparity among the country's communities of color and in white America, especially among the black communities. So don't come at me saying that we've come a long way when in 2021 I'm reading something completely different. These are the stats that don't tell me something that happened in 2018. Talk about what's going on right now. While black Americans are on average almost 5 times greater to be incarcerated than their white counterparts. In some states like New Jersey, black Americans be held up to as almost 12 and a half times more likely to be incarcerated. And Hawaii is the lowest. Why? Because there ain't a whole lot of brothers in Hawaii. We don't go over there because we consider that someplace where we go on vacation. And to be honest with you, when we go on vacation, Hawaii is not one of the destinations for us. For them it is. Again, more disparity. But you have some of these folks out here saying what I'm talking about is not true. That those are made up figures. Well, I didn't put this on the internet. Look at it. Look at it for yourself. Look at the big old map of the United States. Now, my man spoke something about the Latinos and how they are able to keep their marriage together. Well, if you're not in jail, the family will stay intact. Because remember, in the 80s and 90s, between the crack epidemic where they just went through our neighborhoods with a big old scythe and every black man and woman that they thought was a drug dealer or used crack, they didn't call that an epidemic, they called that a crime sweep. And some of those folks right now from the 80s and the 90s are still in jail. So don't tell me that we've come a long way when I'm still seeing numbers like this. In 20 states, including Oklahoma, North Carolina, New Hampshire, the data reports to show that the likelihood of imprisonment is higher for whites in the Latino population, not the black population. However, the emphasis is unreliability on ethnicity data possibly contributed to the underestimation of black and Latinos data. So that means is those numbers that they're saying that were white folks are. Oh my God, not bad. Let me see. See that? There's some white on the side. I don't want you talking like that about us. Hold on just a second. Let me get back to fix my mic, ladies and gents. Y'all enjoy a little bit of music while I fix my mic 1 second, right? Alrighty, I think we got it squared away there. Thank you so very much. My mic is still screwing up a little bit, so my apologies there, ladies and gentlemen. You probably hear some feedback or a few things moving around that shouldn't be moving around. But let me get back to what I'm saying here, and let me hurry up and end this stream. I don't want to hold you. And thank you all you folks that's tuned in down there. You can like, share, and subscribe. Come on over to the radio station.